Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Thank you so much. This is another episode of Living Your Purpose. My name is SJ from Inner Soul Development. I won't go too in. We'll go in later on. From Inner Soul Development, I'm a personal life coach and transformational speaker. And what I do is I actually take you off your autopilot, take you off course to your greater self. I find that missing piece of the puzzle in your life that you may find a little perplexed. But it's a beautiful and wonderful life as long as you know how to work it. Make sure that you don't control life. Life does not control you. You know how that works. So on my side, my beautiful, wonderful co-host.
Hello, everyone. My name is Danielle K. Anderson, also known as Danielle the VP. I am an entrepreneur, interfaith minister, spiritual counselor, life coach, speaker, and many, many other things. And it is my purpose to help people to look good, feel good, live and walk in their own purpose. So
absolutely,
we have a wonderful show
right.
planned for you this evening. Well, a great topic for sure. The topic is leadership. In living your purpose, when you're on your journey, you find yourself in positions of authority and leadership. And sometimes it's thrust upon you, and it's interesting to figure out what it is that makes a leader a good one, and how to handle that situation when it falls on you. So that's the topic for tonight. Hello.
What's up?
Thank you, Evan. It's good to see you.
Coming in.
Oh, Carla's here. Look at everybody here. Thank you guys so much for joining. I really, really appreciate it. If you haven't already, please do share. Tell a little bird, share it on the Facebooks and all over the interwebs where the sharing is done. On the interwebs. Share where all the sharing is done. Again, we're talking about leadership, and it's a really, really great topic.
And I think this is the reason why I think this is a good topic is because everybody in some shape or form exudes some type of leadership in their lives, whether it be personal, whether it be in business. So leadership is very important. I mean, we look at our leaders now. There's certain qualities that they have that you must exude in order to be a good leader or a great leader. Because we know the quotation is lead by example. Well, what is that? What is that example? What qualities make a person a good leader? And so this is a really good topic for everybody to actually jot down notes or perhaps even come in a love seat and be able to give your feedback or your perspective of what you consider to be a good leader. That way we can be able to get the feedback, and then we can have a great, great show. So once again, this is Danielle's topic. I love this topic. I love it, because as coaches, we are considered leaders as well. So it's very important for me to also take notes and everything like that so that I can be able to become a good leader as well going forward.
Right. Well, thank you, SJ. So for me, being a good leader means knowing how to follow the lead of others. That's number one. And to be a good listener, to understand that because you're in charge of people, that doesn't necessarily mean that you are the boss of people. The best leader is a servant. You have to figure out what the needs are of the people who are around you, the needs of whatever purpose it is that you are trying to serve, and find that happy medium in between to make sure that the good of all is served. So
exactly.
It was interesting to me. I have found myself in positions of authority that I had no clue were happening. And from a young age, a teenager, I was actually a manager of my family's company. And so that entailed having to train people, and people that I knew. We hired our friends and family, but I was in charge, right? And I didn't know what the heck, how am I supposed to tell these people what to do?
Right.
And my mom, who was, it was her company at the time, she was like, listen, you do this all the time. You do it every day. It's not hard. All you have to do is show them what you do. Understand, if they have a problem, ask them questions. Show them things, ask them questions. Do they understand? And if they don't, then you just lead. You just guide them and show them how it's done.
Right.
You can't be afraid to, my favorite gym teachers were the ones that got down and did the exercises with you. You know, those are the good motivators. They're the ones that say, listen, I can do this. I'm not going to tell you to do something that I can't do, you know? and I appreciated that. And my mom was the same way as a boss, and having my own company. I find myself having to, we don't have employees, but we do have contractors, and we have to, myself and my sister, we kind of go back and forth on who takes the lead. Like, this is your project, this is your idea, you go ahead and work this. Or things that you have to learn how to delegate properly. Know what you don't know well. Know what it is that you don't do well. Find what other people do well and give them that task. Just because you're in charge doesn't mean you have to do everything yourself. Right.
Absolutely.
I think where it hit me the hardest was in Toastmasters, where I was voted president of my club. And I was like, whoa. Why? Why? A little background on that. Like, I had left town for a while, and I've been away from my club for about a year. And I came back, and I decided that I wanted to serve in some sort of office in an administrative capacity, some kind of thing in the background where I'm just keeping the notes and the records and all of that. And someone nominated me president. And I said, wait, what? And then it was unanimous. The vote was unanimous. And I said, okay, well, here's the way I rationalize it to myself is, if these many people have confidence in me that I can serve, that I can lead them, then there must be something to it. Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I know what a Toastmasters club is and what it needs, but I need to know what they expect of me.
Right.
What are the goals of the club? What are the goals of the people in this club? Why are they trying to become better speakers? So that we could work together in order to make sure that the individual's goals were met and the club's goals were met. And by extension, the whole Toastmasters organization in our area are met. And I learned a lot. So I learned so much from that experience in being a leader. It really does take communication. And making sure that the people that are under your charge, their needs are met as well as yours.
Right.
And so that's basically it for me. The best leader, again, is a servant. And for those of you who may be more religious, you know, in scripture, Jesus washed the feet of his own disciples. Absolutely. You know, the people that are following him, he sat and served them, you know. Right. He was there to teach them, to guide them, but also not just so that they could do what he said do, but to make sure that they were taken care of and they were shown the proper respect that they deserved for working with and for him and sharing his message. So that to me is very, that story is very touching to me in the Bible. Right. But not to get too preachy or anything, because I don't want to put my minister cap on just now, but an example true. Is the best leader Absolutely. Is a servant. Understand, Absolutely. Like in government, the way it's supposed to go is that in our government anyway, a leader is chosen to represent the people, right? To represent the people of that state, city, county, whatever, so that the folks who the citizens' needs are met and brought to the top. So that person, that mayor, that governor, that senator can make sure that their people are taken care of and their voices are heard in the higher offices.
Absolutely.
So that's my piece on it. And I also want to just remind you guys that this is not just a presentation. This is a conversation. So we do have a love seat open. If you have anything that you would like to, already we have somebody trying to jump in the love seat. Are you prepared to?
I'm prepared.
Esther,
listen,
to take a caller.
We could take a caller, but I wanted to just say, breathe quickly. Yeah, she said hi, babe. She said hi. So I wanted to say, I wanted to say that we as leaders, we have followed. I followed a lot of. Before I got to my own business, I had good supervisors or good leaders at one point. And some of them were great, and some of them I wanted to do more for them because of the way they learned and taught me great how to be a leader. They actually led by example. So it's always good to have followers because you started off as a follower. You started off
right.
as learning with somebody, and that person teaching you, putting you under a wing. That's what mentors are. They're
Mm-hmm.
you want to learn with them and learn how they do it. And so I had great mentors. I had great supervisors before I started my own business, and from there I took it and started to hone it for my own business. But I followed, like I said, mentors and supervisors that taught me correctly. And you have those that don't know how to supervise, who feel like leaders are about aggression and about control, but it's totally the opposite. And I think that you said it best. It's about serving. And I said and that's why I had good mentors to actually show me, by them serving me the knowledge and showing me exactly how to start my own business and have people under me as well.
Right. Welcome, Galen, to Living Your Purpose. It's good to see you again.
Absolutely. You guys are always amazing. Always amazing.
Oh, thank you so much for that.
Oh,
so what's your take on, obviously you have a lot to say on this topic.
Yeah. What makes a good leader?
I tell you, I do have a lot of passion around the topic of leadership, because I just believe that every success and every failure begins and ends with leadership, and point blank. And one of the things that I think that we do quite often is we confuse management for leadership. And because someone is a manager, we automatically assume that they have the leadership skills. And those two terms are actually totally different. They're totally defined differently. A manager, by definition, is there to help people stay within constraints, to deliver a budget, but stay within the box. And leadership, by definition, is to help people get outside of the box, to break barriers, to do things that they didn't know was even possible. So when I was listening to the VP talk up top there, I thought of a quote that I've actually captured in my book that I wrote. And this quote is by John Buchan. It says, "The task of leadership is not to put greatness into humanity, but to elicit it, for greatness is already there." So what you did in your example, you didn't come in trying to find a way to make Toastmasters great. You were trying to find a way to pull the greatness out of it so that you can broadcast it from your elevated level. And that's perfect. And you were probably doing that naturally in other situations. And that's why everyone said, she's the person that we need in order to lead our charge.
Yeah, they saw it.
That's one. And I also, they saw it in me, but I also knew, knowing my club, that they wanted to pull it out of me. I had good leaders in my club as well. The past president at the time, my sister is actually a Toastmaster as well and a former president. And some people who know me to be able to speak fairly well and get a point across. They are the ones that kind of urged me and nudged me to do that extra speech, do that competition, go and do this. And they thought that, you know what, this would be good for her if she only knew.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I praise the leaders of that club, the more experienced ones, for recognizing that in me, that if I had that push, that I could be just as good as, and I actually got some good recognition from my club that year. So I'm very proud of it.
We're often the last to know our own strengths.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
Yeah, but
a year ago, I wouldn't think that this is even a thing that I was able to do. So
you're doing it well. You're doing it well.
Thank you.
But you know what's so funny is because, I think this is a great topic because there's a lot of people, especially in the inner cities and those folks that the youth that need to have a good leader. I mean, there's the Malcolm X's and there's the Malcolm, there's leadership beyond that. There's leadership within the community, but I think that, that's the key, where we need to know what qualities define a good leader. I mean, we can say have a good leader and lead by example, but what qualities do you feel we need in order to create a good leader? What qualities do you think is top 3 in your perspective?
Yeah, for me, I don't know if these would necessarily qualify as qualities, but I think a leader does three things, and therefore anyone who has the ability to do these three things would make for a good leader. The first job of a leader is to paint a very clear picture of what success looks like. Right. So that goes to your communication skills, that goes to your visionary ability. That goes to a lot of things that help you paint a clear picture of what success looks like for your organization or whatever group you're leading. The second thing that a leader does is they remove barriers, right? Any barrier that stands in the way of achieving that vision, whether it's financial, whether it's training, whether it's whatever physical barriers. I mean, there's a wall standing in between where I am and where I need to get to. So that goes to negotiating abilities, that goes to, people abilities, that kind of thing. And then the last thing that leaders do is that they inspire action. So they are able to galvanize people to want to act. And one of the things that people miss when they start talking about leadership is that the first person that you've got to inspire to act is yourself. So I include myself in that people that I'm trying to inspire. And if you do anything outside of those three things, chances are you might be getting into management. Right. Because again, management is about keeping people in the box so that you can build a business plan, a specific thing. Leadership is about convincing people that this plan is nothing. The plan is 6. Let's look for 17. Right.
Right.
Anyone that can do those three things, I think, have the qualities of being a leader.
Right. If you look at somebody like a Gandhi, who was broke, who didn't have money, who didn't have any type of success, or a Mother Teresa, who didn't have any type of, didn't really do it, but she was able to draw people to her, or Gandhi was able to draw millions of people to him. There's keys. There's a skill to that. There's qualities to that. And I think one of the qualities is honesty. I think that if you present an ethical and honest way of behavior, then as a key value in your business or your personal, you can be able to draw your team or whoever it is that's following you toward that same that same objective. Okay. But I think honesty is also a great key, just to piggyback off of what you were saying, Galen. I think one of the qualities I feel is honesty, and it all goes back to you. You have to be able to, your team or whoever following you is a reflection of yourself and your vision. So I think if you hone or key on honesty and have the ethical behavior and make sure that you key that as high, then people that you have under you will follow, because you have to search.
Yeah,
so you're going to take that somewhere else and do the same thing. I think it's always good to have that kind of honesty in any type of forum.
Yeah, absolutely. I think integrity and accountability is definitely necessary for a person who is in a position of authority or leadership, because it does come back to you. It's a reflection of you, and then in turn a reflection of the people around you, the people that you are in charge of. If you do not prove yourself to be of good character, then they are going to follow that example or leave. Right. So and it doesn't mean you have to be perfect. As long as you're honest about you're not being perfect, say, listen, you guys, I don't know what I'm doing. I need your help. And I've done that. I said, look, I have no idea what I'm doing up here, but just, bear with me and help me help you. And we can all, move forward together.
Right.
A good leader, like you said, the Gandhis, the Mother Teresas, the Malcolms, the Dr. Kings, all of these are people who were able to inspire and motivate and light a fire under their people, so that, or the people that follow them, to take action, whatever that action may be. Absolutely. And we all know that those are very different types of people, different ends of the spectrum, but was it for the good of something? It inspired people to action, to either show love, give to others, or take a stand up for your beliefs, your principles. And that's what I believe is the most important, is integrity, and being accountable. If you mess up, say you messed up. There's no reason to lie about it, but just be honest enough with the people with around you to help you figure out what this, what the issue may be.
Yeah, I just wanted to pile on to that just for a second, because I absolutely agree that integrity is so important. All of these companies that you see that are almost the epitome of being out of integrity, the Enrons of the world. Enron is now synonymous with doing things that's not for the good of the cause.
Right.
They don't start out doing that, right? They don't start out saying, how can I rob money from my employees, and how can I break the law? Hopefully I get a great cell somewhere in some prison, right? No one starts out to do that. I think ethical decisions, it's almost like an iceberg's drift, right? An iceberg will move, 3 inches every 4 years. So you don't see it, but you look up 15 years later and you're 5 miles away from where you said you wanted to be. So it's the small decisions that you make on a daily basis. And the last thing I want to say about integrity is that the only thing that I've seen than a leader being out of integrity with their people are watching leaders who are out of integrity with themselves.
Right.
And that's just terrible, because
that's a big one. Yeah.
They know what they're trying to do. They know what's important to them, but yet they show up every day and they're compromising what they said they were setting out to do. That shows up everywhere else. Some of the work that I've done, there's actually a word, there's actually a term for how people are able to tell when you are out of integrity with yourself, right? There's a micro expression. It's in your eyes that they can tell that you're trying to reconcile what you're saying with what you actually believe. And people don't want to follow folks that lie to themselves even.
If you question yourself, how can anybody else feel confident in you? And it's okay if you don't know. If you're not sure, it's okay. But what is not okay is when you're lying to yourself, when you're trying to put on the front that you got everything under control and you know that inside it's all falling apart. It does not help. It doesn't mean break down and freak out in front of, your whole team, but it also means just be honest and be upfront and say, look, this is what's going on. I'm at a loss. I need, we need some ideas, spitball them, just throw it out there. It's just so that everybody's on the same page.
I agree.
And, if your people, you find yourself, even if you don't know what you're doing, you'll find that people trust you more when you can at least say that.
Right. Because you're basically putting yourself in a position whereas you're now a team player. We're almost like, I'm trying to get this vision. This is my vision. And we're going to, go in it together. But I think that the difference between, I think one of the key elements with the Gandhis and the Mother Teresa's is that they didn't waver from their decision. They had a definite decision. They didn't waver from it. I think if you have a leader that's kind of wavering from the goal or wavering from the vision, it kind of brings that energy toward whoever is following you and makes you seem like you really don't know what it is that you really want to do. And I think that them being committed to what their vision was, and they didn't waver from it. In fact, they were, whether they failed and got back up or however the case may be, even with the Malcolm X, the Martin Luther King, I'm sure he went through a lot of failures, of course, but he still didn't waver from that dream. I have a dream. This is my vision. Right. So he didn't waver from that. And I think that a good leader doesn't waver from their decision or their vision or their goal or what they want to bring across or accomplish.
Right. So I guess that brings the point. Another quality would be commitment.
Absolutely.
So just sticking to your guns, as long as you know that what you're doing is the right thing, stick to it. Inspire the people to show everybody else that are under your charge to what it is that you're trying to accomplish. And if they don't get with it, then be open to suggestion. Be able to be slightly flexible just to see what happens, but definitely stay committed to the goal at hand.
Absolutely.
Whatever the vision is, keep that vision, hold tight to that vision, and be committed to your work, be committed to making sure that your people are committed to the work.
Right.
And motivated to do the work, whatever that work may be.
Right. And we should see the followers that we have under our direction, want them to be leaders as well. So if they're trying to be somewhere where, there's no competition in that. You want to, if you're serving them to get to where they need to go. So if there's no, well, she's trying to be like, I'm trying to take my position, No, it's not like that. It's you should want that person to be in the position to be great as well. And I think that's why that leadership residue, you want to take the things that, you instill in that individual that's following you, and you want them to be great too. And so you want to make leaders. You want to be a leader, but you want to make leaders as well as you're going on. I mean, that's all about serving. I think that's a great thing that you have, Galen, with leadership residue. I think that's really good. So you want to let them go on to be a life coach SJ, to be a Danielle the VP, to be a Galen. You want.
No, don't be a Danielle the VP. Be better than me, honey.
But you want to have those people that's under you be great.
Exactly. So again, let's reintroduce ourselves. My name is Danielle K. Anderson, also known as Danielle the VP under Living Your Purpose this evening. I am an entrepreneur, interfaith minister, Toastmaster, speaker, life coach, and spiritual counselor, as well as many other titles. But it is my purpose to help people to look good, feel good, find and walk in their own purpose. And with me, as always, is the man behind the vision of living your purpose, life coach SJ. Take it away.
This is life coach. Yes, this is SJ from Inner Soul Development. That's my Inner Soul Development.
There it is.
I am a personal life coach and transformational speaker. What I do is I get you off your autopilot, take you off course to your greatest self. I make sure that you understand that life is to be controlled. Life is to be controlled. Life does not control you. That's how we're doing it today. But we're also talking today about leadership. What key qualities makes a good leader? What makes a good leader? That way we can help our youth. How can we help our youth to show what a good leader is? I mean, do they have that in front of them as far as on a TV? No, media doesn't really show the good leaders. They only show good leaders when something's going wrong in the world, right? When there's a big chaos, then the leaders come out, right? So what I'm saying is because we have a lot of youth that they're confused, they're perplexed, they don't know what's going on. They're all messed up. We need to have good leaders and more leaders in our community. So what is the key to making a good leader? What is a good leader?
You know what? what just happened here? We have a question. Carla, get in here. Because this is the part that I love, is when there are questions and that we can offer some help and advice to direct questions. Welcome, Carla Richmond of the Giggle Fest.
The Giggle Fest.
The Giggle Fest has arrived.
Yeah. My favorite laughing lady and longtime supporter of Living Your Purpose. So much happiness. I'm trying to speak. I can't speak. Thanks so much for joining us once again. Yes. How can we help you? Oh gosh. Every time you gotta be sure, if nothing else, when Carla comes in here, we're gonna laugh for at least a couple of seconds. So Carla, you want to ask your question for those who are watching and don't know what's going on?
It's not really a question. I need to make sure that I am leading my team of the Giggle Fest correctly and that people want to do the work. And that's a very major concern for me. So I figured if you're talking about leadership, and Danielle, you know what I've been doing.
Oh, yes.
Yes, we know.
Oy vey.
Oh, I know better than anybody because I've been working hard myself. Yes. So, all right, for some people who may not understand, Giggle Fest is an extension of Carla's work as I don't want to call you a yogi, but or a guru, but she does what's called laughter meditation in order to help people, individuals and groups, to learn the power of laughter as a calming thing and a centering thing and something that can help you, move forward. So the Giggle Fest, she generously asked me to assist her in certain ways as far as getting a website together, marketing, and that kind of thing. So I'm going to say right now, you're doing a great job. But it goes back to saying,
what I'm concerned about.
Well, no. Okay, here's the thing. In your situation, Carla, people came to you, right? People came to you to help you. So all you need to do is ask them, what do you need from me? You've already made your vision very clear, and ask them what it is that they need from you in order to do their particular job. We all came to you with different skills, different backgrounds, and all of that. So when you ask me, can you do a website? I say, yes, absolutely. Then you ask me again, what do you need from me? I told you, and I put it together. And that'll be done next week. this week will be finished. But and then you had Joey to do your. Yes, I did. We had Joey to do your social media. That's done. All you have to do is just make sure that everybody is on task with what it is and understands what your purpose is with the Giggle Fest. I think with the team that you have now, you have to trust that everybody knows what they're doing. And trust yourself. You have to trust yourself in knowing that you have the right people around you to do their job.
Right. And
otherwise you wouldn't have asked. You would not have asked. They would not have come to you. And, I think for you, it's just a matter of being confident in the fact that you have the right people, that you are doing what you're supposed to do.
Right.
No, this is so.
You've got it.
It's so very new to me that I want to make sure people stay inspired and people really are happy to do it. And I'm excited, obviously, and I just want it to work so much that I hope that I'm not pushing anyone, but I don't think I am.
No, you're not pushing. You are motivating. You're pushing, but not in like a pushy way. You know what I mean? You're like, hey, you're excited. Yeah, it's drive. It's not pushing. It's just drive, and you're excited about it, and everybody else is excited about it too. And sometimes, schedules get off, and sometimes there's miscommunications. But that's to be expected in any business, Carla, or in any team. Sometimes signals get crossed up, or somebody misses an email or something like that. But as long as you're able to, pull it all back together, you're going to be fine. And just make sure that your vision is clear. And if something happens that's not quite in line with the vision, then have that conversation. You're doing fine. You're doing a great job.
I guess I needed to hear that, because that's, it's very important to me that my team wants me to be where I am. And
of course,
amazing things are happening. When I get that many people in a scope and then over 100 replays in less than 2 hours afterwards, you're like,
that's amazing.
What in the world is happening?
Right, but you know what?
You're doing better than me. I'm not mad.
Your people that's following you are following you because they see your vision. They get it. And when you get some followers that get your vision, then they are motivated to make sure that vision is to completion. But all you got to do is make sure that they stay motivated. That's it. Stay motivated, because sometimes with things that are going on in the world, they can get lackadaisical and, some things happen. But once you keep them motivated, then you're fine. When you have a scope of 100 people, that means whoever's following you, they get it. They understand it, and they're willing to do the work with you because they see you doing the work with them as a leader. You see, so they get it, and it's a good thing that you're going to have success with that. You're going to have success with that. All you got to do is just stay motivated, keep your team motivated, make sure that communication stays connected, and you got it. You got it.
I
Right.
really
So all it is, Carla, is just you have to trust you. Okay? Know that you made the right decision for yourself and your business. And your mission. Your mission is a noble one. And the people who are around you, the things that are happening and how quickly is just a confirmation of the fact that you are doing the thing that you're meant to do.
Hey, I just want to offer, because you just hit on something I think is really, really important. I think it's the confidence and the commitment. And those are easy words to say, and everyone gets it intellectually. Mm-hmm. But SJ was talking about, Gandhi, and talking about Martin Luther King, and both of those guys were really committed to nonviolence. I'm sure that there were plenty of situations where both of those guys are saying, you know what, if I can just take some folks out back, and I could just really shortcut this entire issue by taking some folks out back. But they had to remain true to their commitment. They had to remain confident that they were going to end in a better place because of what they put in place. And, again, that's easy to understand. It's hard to do because you're always going to be tested. I mean, you're always going to be tested.
Every day. There's a question here. Do you want to take this question, Danielle? Or
yeah, sure.
Okay.
You want me to?
Okay, the question.
Stay in.
Are you good? Did you get what you needed?
Yeah.
Okay, then do.
I just wanted to say one more thing.
What?
Yes, Carla.
This is so new to me, and publicly, I just want people to know that I'm learning very quickly what to do. And if you get angry at me, let me know. But basically, help me learn to be the best leader for this as possible, because it's really important
you just
that it works.
You just figured it. You just got it.
That's
exactly what we were saying. Mm-hmm. Is a good leader is the one who asks the questions of their people. So just bear with me and help me out. That's it. You got it. You're good to go. If you'd like to leave the love seat, then you're more than welcome to do so. I'm going to take this question from
I just want to
Wayne
do it so other people can hop in if they want.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much.
I'm gonna bounce out as well. Hey, you guys, just wanted to get on and encourage you guys.
Thank you guys so much, Gavin, man.
You guys are doing amazing work. All of your topics are absolutely dead on for helping people achieve their best lives. This particular topic is really passionate for me, because in all of my experiences, I'm just convinced that every success and every failure begins and ends with leadership. Period. End of discussion for me. So great job. Keep up the great work.
Thank you so much, Gavin.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, let me take this question. Hey, Joey, good to see you.
Hello.
Hang on for me. So happy to see you. Let me take this question, and then we will get to you. Do you think that motivation is required if people recognize you're leading them to do something great? Meaning, as a good leader, that would be part of the package and your responsibility as a leader. So the question, as I understand it, is it necessary for you to take that extra step to motivate, because the people who are under you already know that it's kind of your job to yes, it is necessary.
Absolutely.
It is necessary, because even though, I have a supervisor in my regular job, right? And she works really hard. And I know that if she gives me a task, that I need to do it, and it's for the good of the company and the client. However, sometimes I just don't feel like it. I don't feel like doing this thing and responding to this request because they're getting on my nerves and all of that. And I have other stuff going on. But sometimes she's like, hey, you know what? I know it's a lot that we're asking you to do, but if you could just, make sure you do this for me, and I will make sure that you are taken care of, later on. That kind of thing is important. It's important to make sure that, sometimes we lose focus. Right. And as long as there's someone there to bring you back on track. Listen to the thing that's going on with you. And like I said, communication is key. As long as you're respectful with the one in charge or the ones that you are in charge of, and you just make sure that the goal is clear, and if there are misunderstandings, that those are cleared up, and if there's a problem, to find a way to fix it. Yes, it's absolutely necessary for a leader to be a motivator, for a supervisor or a manager to be a motivator, to keep you on task and realize it may be a lot, but this is what we're here for. This is the thing that we're meant to do, and you can do it.
Absolutely. And I think, just to piggyback off of you, let's talk. I want to just go back to the whole Martin Luther King and what he went through. I'm sure that his people that he was under him, those other preachers that was under him, and doing the whole boycott and stuff like that, I'm sure that they saw on a daily basis us being targeted, and it could have, brought them down. But Martin Luther King, he exuded confidence. And when you have a confidence and motive, when you have confidence, you automatically motivate others regarding your vision. Martin Luther King said there's going to be setbacks. There's going to be setbacks, but we're gonna push through those setbacks. I'm sure he had to constantly motivate the preachers. I'm sure he had to constantly motivate the leaders that were under him. I'm sure he had to constantly tell them, listen, you're going to see a lot of things, and what you're going to see is not going to be pretty, but there's going to be setbacks. So it was constant motivation, constant confidence that Martin Luther King or any leader has to exude in order for them to see their goal to fruition. You got to constantly motivate your team. You got to constantly do that.
Right. So I hope that answered the question, Wayne. Hey, Joey.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Excellent.
Welcome back to Living Your Purpose. Always a pleasure to have you here.
Absolutely.
I love it here, guys. I learned so much here. I'm telling you. I love
really?
it. Yes.
Oh, that makes me happy.
Yes.
That makes me happy.
It's like hearts on Periscope.
I also have things to share too. So that's
that's why
we're looking for. That's what it's about.
Yeah. So I'm a leader, of my own nonprofit organization and stuff. And I find it, interesting, the day-to-day activities of a CEO, because this is my first time, honestly, being a CEO of my own company / nonprofit / business, and so on and so forth, so I'm getting used to it, just like, everybody else probably got used to it when they were getting, when they had their first time, being a CEO of a business, so, I'm seeing, a lot of things that I have to do now, and it's like there's a lot of delegation involved. And I was telling a few people before that delegation is very important as a leader, because if you don't delegate, you're going to be doing everything yourself. And you don't want to be doing everything yourself. You need to be that leader. You need to be the leader to hold everybody together, and bottom line is that, if you're doing everything, you can't concentrate on being that leader you're supposed to be. And you can't hold things together if you're doing everything. So that's why it's important to delegate, and in my case, I try to delegate to as many people as possible. I have a lot of people in my organization, a lot of great staff members that I delegate to. And I know that I have a lot more time to get things done CEO-wise. You know what I'm saying? So CEO-wise, I'm able to get done, the most important things to, mold the organization together. I'm also now putting together fundraisers and stuff like that for our nonprofit, and it's tough to do all that if you can't delegate, and especially for the event, you need to delegate people to do different things.
And then when you delegate, what is that? When you delegate, what does that mean? That means that you're trusting your people for different tasks, so that they can be able to grow your business. So delegation takes trust.
Yes, a lot of trust.
That's another quality of a leader, is to trust who is underneath you.
Right.
And to trust yourself, because here's
and trust yourself too. That's true.
Two things about that. Here's the thing. In a situation where people are placed under you, you have to be able to trust whomever was in charge of building that team, that these people have certain strengths and you have certain strengths. So you all should be able to work together to make sure that everybody's strengths are utilized to the best of their ability, to their capacity. So, excuse me, when you build a team, if you're in your own business, a nonprofit, if it's just a project, you pick certain people for certain reasons. So you have to trust yourself to know, this is what I was telling Carla earlier, you have to trust yourself that you chose the people that you chose because this one's good at the marketing, this one's good at social media, this one is good at numbers. So I don't have to worry about all of this stuff because they have it under control. And we can all come together, make sure that everything fits well. And if there isn't, we can resolve these issues. But you have to trust yourself to know that the team that you have put together are that way because of the certain strengths, so that you are able to delegate. Because then you become, and the other way is, not the other way, but if you don't delegate, then you end up becoming the dreaded micromanager. Nobody needs you know what I mean? And it's okay to be involved. It's okay to be involved in the details of things, just to know what's going on. It's cool, but I don't need to be over. I don't want to feel like I have to be over someone's shoulder every 10, 15 minutes. Say, what are you working on? Are you good? Here, what's going on? Do you want me to do this for you? No, I don't want you to do anything for me because I'm here to do this for you.
Yeah.
You know, if you need help, that's fine. If you want to offer your assistance, that's fine too. But you don't want to be so fully involved if you have a team whose job it is to take that off of you.
Sometimes, sometimes also I noticed that you have to empower your team to know that they have that power to actually, have control over the organization. So I have like a core team of members, on the top that I want to trust with my organization, that I say, hey, I empower them to make decisions when I'm not there. And then various things like that. And, to empower your team, to inspire your team, to motivate your team, very, very important. I do that. I try to do that every day, and one other point I want to make is that, I built my own team, and, and here's, a little twist to all of this. I built my own team. Okay. But it took 2 years to build my team because of people that I thought I trusted, because of people that I thought were my friends, because of people that I thought had my back. Didn't really have my back. They just wanted my base. They wanted my ideas, so on and so forth. So the leader needs to make sure that everybody that they're bringing into their organization is who they say they're going to be, who they say they're going to be, and who they portray themselves to be. So basically, some of these people were fake individuals. Okay, they used me for my ideas. They used me for my base. They used me for my radio station. They used me for a lot of different things. And I found out the hard way, with a lot of these people. Yeah. But now a lot of these people are just funneling themselves out of my organization, which is great. I don't have to fire them. They're just leaving. I'm like, oh, that's great. That's great. So at least they realize that they're scumbags. At least they realize that, at least they realize that they're having, these issues, that they can't understand why they're having these issues, with me for some apparent reason. And then after they leave, I block them, and I block them out of my life because I'm done with those people. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I find out who these people really are, and then they get basically pushed to the side, and I don't want to know them anymore. So I just wanted to share that. I think that's key for a leader.
I think that's a very good point to make, Joey. Sometimes we don't always know what we get.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you have to kind of feel your way through. You have to make the mistakes fall on your face, lose the money, lose the client, lose the team, to see the type of people and their integrity. But it's also, if it happens that way, it means you're meant to learn something from it. And it also is better for you to, it's a learning experience to strengthen you for things to come. Those people you saw that you found out that they were shiesty or whatever, and then they dropped off. Maybe later on down the line, it could be a even bigger snake after you, but you now can recognize certain things, certain qualities in individuals that would prepare you to be able to either block them off or fight them off. So that you can excel later on. So thank you for that, Joey. That's really really good point.
That was key, because I have to say I became stronger because of that. Now I know what to look for, just like you just said. Now I know what to look for in a person when they come to me. I know what questions to ask in the interview now. It's awesome. It's great. I just know
it's great, right?
Coming in. Yeah, I know when they're like, they're snakes in the grass, and they just want to just like take something from me. Oh, I just want to take this, or just a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and and I didn't realize that before. All these people, all these people had my back. All these people supposedly had my back. Oh yeah, we love your idea. Your idea was so great, so great. Oh yeah, and then by the way, I just met a couple of your friends on your friend list. Well, now I hid my friends list, so you can't even see it. So there you go. But bottom line is sometimes you have to do things to try to protect what you created. What you created is key. You know what I'm saying? It's key here because you don't want anybody to take those ideas that you work so hard for in your brain, okay, that come out of your brain, that your ideas, and then they're going to run away into. But here's the point. Usually when they take something and run away with it, they fail.
Right, because they don't have the full
because
scope.
they don't know how Joe Aquilino's doing. They know how they do it. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
So they don't know all the secrets. They don't know all the secrets right here. You know what
That's
I'm saying?
You know what I tell
my
my kids when they think they're getting smarter than mom? And then I am like 4, 5, 20 steps ahead of them. They're like, how did you know? How did you do? I said, listen, kid, I've taught you everything you know, but I haven't taught you everything that I know. Okay. So you might think that you can get away with this because I told you that, but that's a beautiful point.
But Joey, what you're using and you don't even realize it is that you're strengthening your intuition. You're using your intuition and you're honing in on your intuition and you're being led by your intuition. And that's key because we need that because we're going to come across people that are not fit. Okay. But when you're starting your business and you think everybody's fit because you're trying to get to where you need to go. So you're like, all right, fine. I'll take you. Okay. But when you become more seasoned, then you be able to know your intuition and you're really able to use it to be able to see clearly who is able to be fit in your business or not. And so that's what you're doing. You're using your intuition in a high, and really, really, you're using it very, very more, I can see now than before.
Oh yeah, I've learned to use my intuition a lot more. But here's an interesting point. This is another interesting point. Okay, some of these people that were in the organization didn't meet the standards of the mission statement. Okay, so the mission statement specifically says no drama, no ego in this place up in here. Basically, no ego and drama up in here. Okay, but we also follow the precepts of love, respect, unity, and peace. Okay. When you don't follow or you don't meet the requirements of our mission statement, okay? Our mission statement is built on those words, okay? If I show you my mission statement is built on those words, okay? So if you don't meet them, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to release you. Okay, but this is the best part. I release these people, or they leave on their own, and then they say, "Oh, Joe fired me. Oh, he fired me," and now they're talking against me behind my back.
Right.
You know? So now I block them. And I say, well, nah, I'm going to block them out of my life. I don't want to know what these people are doing. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what they're doing anymore.
Yeah.
They don't meet the requirements. They try to screw me or whatever it is. And I just took them out. You know, I said, that's enough. I pluck you out of my organization and you go over there. But bottom line is, now they got a group of little minion people in a PM chat trying to consort against me. So to basically say everybody against Joe, but little do they know, they have 13, 14 people in that group. I have how many followers on Twitter, how many followers on Flab and Periscope and Facebook. So little do they know that I'm much more powerful than they will ever be. So, but the bottom line is how to stop that.
Or how
there's
to
no
deal
way
with
to
it.
stop it. You can't tell somebody, hey, shut up, because they're going to just keep going. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, so how do you stop something like that? That's a good point to make, because how does one stop
You know what?
that?
Here's what I say. You cannot control other grown people and what they do. How people choose to deal with their feelings, emotions, and how they act upon them is completely their business. And how people feel about you is none of your business. Put it this way. They're talking all of that boo Joey, boo hoo, boo me, because they're upset about something. Let me ask you a question, Joey. Are you sleeping good at night?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sleeping very well.
Yeah. Right. Here's the thing.
Right.
They're giving you all of this energy, whether they feel it's negative or not. All it's doing is bringing more energy, more negative energy to themselves, and more attention to Joey Giggles.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what it is. So just don't make them stop. Don't worry about what they're doing, because you just said it. Your presence is so strong that it can withstand the hate of about 13, 14 people, right? What is that to you in the grand scheme of things? Really?
I just pay no attention to it.
Exactly. So stopping it is not really stopping it unless it hurts your bottom line, Joe.
And I agree with you on that.
You cannot stop.
If it doesn't,
you can't stop adults from doing what adults do. But
Absolutely.
if it doesn't affect you and your bottom line, it's not hurting yourself or your family, let it go.
Can you imagine? Look at the examples of the leaders that we have. They, like we said, like the Martin Luther Kings and all those. They had haters up the wazoo. They did not want them to accomplish what they wanted to accomplish, and they had more haters than your 13, right? So
that's true.
So what I'm saying is that their vision and commitment to that vision it was like almost water off of a duck's back, right? It was like they didn't care because I'm still going to continue moving forward because they see the vision. So regardless of 13, try 100, try the FBI, it's true. Look, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and those people, they had haters that did not want them to see them succeed. So those 13 is nothing. You have a vision that's so much bigger and so much better and so much brighter. You continue that vision, and that 13 will just be like a quarter out of a dollar.
Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. I'm more of a visionary. I like to call myself that because I'm changing communities. Okay, what I'm doing is changing communities. I'm rebuilding broken communities. I'm rebuilding. So here, this is an important point. A leader rebuilds communities. Absolutely. A leader rebuilds. A leader takes control and rebuilds broken things. You know what I'm saying? Creates innovative things.
Right.
Creates innovative things. So the bottom line is we need to figure out, the balance, between, say, staff and CEO. Okay, CEO takes control of the organization. Staff then runs the organization, and CEO get a chance to be more of a visionary. Okay, or CEO runs the organization, staff, doesn't get delegated to, and CEO goes nuts basically, and CEO, goes nuts in the brain. You know what I'm saying? So the bottom line is we need to delegate. Once we delegate, then we need to become that visionary. That visionary then will become noted and then create a legacy. Okay. And the legacy is what people are going to remember. People are going to remember Joe Aquilino for rebuilding certain communities out here that really need real rebuilding, including my chronic pain community. My chronic pain community, RSD, CRPS community needs a lot of rebuilding. Boy, does it needs a lot of rebuilding. And I took that on and I said, I'm going to rebuild it. And guess what? People hated me for it. There's a lot of people out there that hate me for that, So, I mean, there's more than the 12 people. Okay, there's these other organizations out there with egomaniacs and drama kings and drama queens that want to take me down, but they can't because I found them out already. They're done. They're finished. So, it's actually really funny what they try to do, but it just doesn't work anymore. So anyway, bottom line is you need to become the visionary. And once you become the visionary, then you create your legacy, what people are going to remember you for, what people are going to say, oh, that Joe Aquilino, he was the leader of that community. He rebuilt that community, brought it back to greatness. That's what I want. Right. That's what I want people to remember me for.
Just know that a great leader equals servant. Great leaders equals servant. Yeah. So as long as you're serving,
with great power,
as long as you're serving, then you will continue to be blessed, and you will continue to move forward. But we do thank you so much, Joey, for being a part of this show. Oh man, you are so awesome, and we love you. We really truly do.
Thank you.
Yes, definitely.
I will be back.
It is about that. Yay! All right, people. Unfortunately, it's that time.
Yes.
Sad face. It's time to cut the recording short. Well, not short, but time to cut it off. Thanks, Joey, so much. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I am, as always, so very pleased and humbled that what we do is important to you, and that you continue to support us because we're here to support you. We are trying to serve you, and hopefully that makes us good leaders to you. And it's weird because I don't want to consider myself a leader, but because I'm here to serve. But that's kind of the point, right?
The point. Yes, we go.
So, all right. So we are going to end the show, but you guys stick around for the After Blab where we'll continue the conversation, answer any questions. I know sometimes people get a little nervous about coming on camera when we were recording, so we try to be mindful of that and just keep the conversation going a little bit. Make sure that you follow us everywhere. The best, we are on Twitter, we are on Periscope, we are on SoundCloud, we're on YouTube, we're on Google Plus, we're LinkedIn. Everywhere. We are pretty much everywhere that the finding can be done. So the best way to follow us is very simple. Just go to our website, lypshow.com. Click Discover, and you can see what's coming up next for our next broadcast. I think there may be 1 or 2 people watching live right now from the website, which is awesome. Thank you guys so much. And what else? Hit connect, and you can follow us on the interwebs. You can send us an email, send us your ideas, your questions, and there's a lot of stuff coming up in the very, very near future. So
very near future.
We're really excited. Again, my name is Danielle K. Anderson, also known as Danielle the VP. I'm an entrepreneur, interfaith minister, makeup artist, Toastmaster, app junkie. Oh my gosh, wait, wrong app. Okay. I am wrong intro. Let me start over. I'm an entrepreneur, interfaith minister, spiritual counselor, life coach, and speaker. And it is my purpose to help people look good, feel good, find and walk in their own purpose. And as always, my co-host is the one and only SJ.
SJ, that's right, from Inner Soul Development. That's right, Inner Soul Development. I'm a personal life coach and transformational speaker. What I do is I take you off your autopilot, take you off course to your greatest self. Make sure that you understand that you control life. Life does not control you, because we love to let you live in your purpose. Okay, and we do appreciate you guys. Make sure that you go on our website, lypshow.com. If you don't have the app of Blab, we're on here every Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the reason why we're everywhere is because this is needed everywhere. Okay, this is positive TV, and so therefore this is needed everywhere. How to become a leader, how to live in your purpose, how to have an impact in the world. Those things you guys need, and so therefore we're serving to be able to do that for you, and we love to do it. We love it. This is my obsession. I love to help others, and so does Danielle, and that's why this show was created. Okay, so guys, check us out next week. Every Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And let the birdies know, let your friends know, tell your friends and family about the show, because it's important that they too live in their purpose. Okay, guys? So on that note, have a great and wonderful Sunday. And we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.